Don't ever touch my son again." The words sliced through the air like a blade. The janitor froze, mop still dripping on the marble floor. In front of him stood Isabella Grant, billionaire CEO of Grant Industries, mother to 7-year-old Ethan, and a woman who had built her empire by never showing weakness. Cameras flashed as security rushed forward. The janitor's trembling hands rose in surrender. He was known as Mr. Lee, a quiet, middle-aged man who kept his head down and his eyes low. He never spoke unless spoken to, never missed a shift, and never asked for anything. But that day, the day Isabella found him holding her son, changed everything. Viewers, before you judge him, stay till the end. Because this story will change the way you see kindness, pain, and truth. And if it touches your heart even a little, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more real, emotional stories like this one. It started that morning when the janitor saw young Ethan sitting alone in the company lobby, pale and shivering. Everyone passed the boy by, too busy, too cold, too important. Mr. Lee quietly placed his jacket over the child's shoulders. "You okay, little man?" he asked softly. Ethan nodded but didn't speak. Moments later, the boy's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed. Panicked, Mr. Lee knelt down, checking his pulse. "Stay with me," he whispered, gently lifting Ethan's head to keep him breathing. That's when Isabella walked out of the elevator, and saw the janitor, her janitor, touching her unconscious son. She screamed. Her guards grabbed him. Within minutes, Mr. Lee was fired on the spot. "You're lucky I don't press charges," Isabella spat. Cameras captured the moment, a billionaire protecting her child from a supposed predator. The video went viral. The internet tore him apart. Mr. Lee didn't fight back. He just lowered his head and said quietly, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I only wanted to help." 3 days later, Ethan was rushed to the hospital again, this time, for severe headaches and fainting spells. The doctors couldn't explain it. Isabella stayed by her son's bedside, tears staining her perfect suit. "Why is this happening?" she begged. Then the MRI results came back. A tumor. Small, but growing dangerously close to Ethan's brainstem. "He needs surgery," the doctor said. And immediately, Isabella's world shattered. Money, power, success, none of it could save her son. But then, something unexpected happened. Another doctor, a visiting neurosurgeon, walked in and froze. "Is that Daniel Lee?" "Who?" Isabella asked, confused. The doctor smiled faintly. "Your janitor. Or at least, that's what you thought he was." Dr. Daniel Lee was one of the best pediatric neurosurgeons in Seoul before he lost his license here in the States. Isabella blinked in disbelief. "That can't be true." The doctor handed her a file. He retired after his wife died during surgery. He blamed himself and walked away from medicine. Took whatever job would keep him close to people who needed help. The truth hit her like lightning. The man she humiliated was once the man who could have saved her son. That night, Isabella drove through the rain, heart pounding. She found Mr. Lee sitting alone at a small diner, eating soup in silence. When she saw him, she fell to her knees. "Please, I didn't know," she whispered. "My son needs you. Please save him." Mr. Lee looked up, his tired eyes filled with quiet sadness. "I'm not a doctor anymore, ma'am. I'm just a janitor now." She clasped his hands, tears streaming. "No, you're the only one who can help." He hesitated. "I swore I'd never go back to the operating room again. Not after losing my wife on the table." "But this isn't about you anymore," Isabella said, voice trembling. "It's about saving a boy who believes you're his hero." The next morning, Daniel stood in the operating room once more. Hands shaking, he stared at the sterile tools. For a moment, ghosts of the past surrounded him, the beeping monitors, his wife's fading heartbeat. But then he heard a child's soft voice through the window, "Mr. Lee, I'm not scared. You'll make me better, right?" Something inside him shifted. The janitor disappeared. The surgeon returned. Hours passed. The surgery was long and risky. Outside, Isabella prayed, something she hadn't done in years. Finally, the doors opened. Daniel stepped out, exhausted, sweat soaking through his scrubs. "He's going to be okay," he said simply. Isabella broke down, sobbing. "Thank you. I'm so sorry for everything I said, everything I did." He gave a tired smile. "Sometimes, people see what they fear, not what's true. You're a mother. I understand. Weeks later, when Ethan woke up, the first thing he asked was, "Where's Mr. Lee?" Isabella smiled through her tears. "He's right here, sweetheart." Daniel entered, not in a janitor's uniform, but in a white coat, his badge now reading Drive. Daniel Lee, Chief Pediatric Neurosurgeon, Grant Foundation Hospital. Isabella had rebuilt the hospital wing in his honor, naming it the Grace Unit, after Daniel's late wife. And every month, Daniel taught medical interns there, quietly reminding them that no act of kindness is ever small. The story went viral again, but this time, for all the right reasons. The woman who fired a janitor learned that compassion was worth more than pride. The janitor who lost everything found his purpose again. And a little boy got a second chance at life, because someone dared to care when no one else did. So if you're watching this right now, remember, never judge someone by their uniform. Behind every silent struggle might be a hero who's just waiting for a reason to rise again.